Okay, so update titles. Let's say there's going to be drums, speed, day 1. Update all. We'll update social alerts. Post to streaming. Okay. Does it actually send to my Facebook that I'm live? I don't care right now. Okay, let's see here. Not really. So I'll go to there and I'll grab the link from there and I'll send it out. Okay, so how does that work? I don't know if anybody's actually watching me right now. So it says that it's streaming. I don't see the chat though. It says online, so let me re-get chat and get that up and running here. Open this in browser. Close. Settings here. Okay, grab you. Embed in stream. Okay. Copy you. I don't know if anybody's watching me right now. Bear with me. This is going to be... I don't even see my other thing now. Where's my restream? Oh, great. It just disappeared on me. So it shows nobody watching, so that's fine. Now where's the chat? Copy you. Go into this chat. And... or is it there? So this is too high. Sorry about that, guys. Technical fun difficulties here. Am I filling a window, please? Should be. And then this guy here. Where's the top of view? Oh, I see. It pushes it out there. Okay. So restream chat should be this. Okay. I don't know why I'm not seeing it, so I'm just going to delete this. No, I want to delete the restream chat and then re-add it, and probably it'll show up. And browser. And move it back into place. There we go. Now it works. I've got chat. So I'll turn this on. Get a little bit of light coming from the camera, which is nice. Alright, now I'll go and grab my stream link from here. How is that useful? I don't get it. That just links people to here. Okay. Let's see here. I'm still trying to figure this stuff out. How to share my stuff out from this app here. Let me get my Twitch at least in play. I go to my live and okay, there we go. I should handle that. Sorry guys, technical difficulties. Well, I say that and nobody's even stream info maybe. Can I drum hand speed day 1, Share link to channel. Okay. Someday I'm gonna get this whole going live thing all figured out. Boom. There you go. Here we go. I'll have to figure out my other channel. Okay. And then share link to channel. Discord. Okay. Stream notifications. Send. Okay, now. Hey, somebody's joined. I am not familiar with the username. Welcome. I'll be getting things started off pretty soon. Going through this video. Oh, that reminds me, I need to copy the video that I'm going to be referencing. Hey, Francois. I am taking inspo from a YouTube video. And let me, actually, I'll do it in the PC here. Nice. I've got an actual whole plan for this piece here. And I just gotta grab the actual video link. And go in and put it in the update titles and description. Okay. Please check out the video. I don't get what this event is. Okay. Placing this video on. Alright, you guys get to see all the fun technical difficulties. How does it sound, Francois? Sorry, drum speed. Day 1. Okay, update all. There we go. So that should actually put it there. Yo, Rocket, hey. So I've got a bit of a setup here, I think. Everything should be good there. Still getting there, so I'll angle this away. Alright, actually, Rocket and Francois, can you hear this really awful metronome? The little beeping? Alright, cool. I do not like the sound of this thing at all, but for now, until I find a better solution for the metronome, this is what I'm going to do. Okay, I still need to send out my YouTube. I gotta get this all a little bit better. Okay, so I've got his video linked in the description of my stream, because I'm basing all of this. I've got my notes here of what I'm going to do, and it's a total of 20 minutes of particular practice that this video in the description has outlined, and I'm going to try to push myself to do this every every day for at least the next week. So accountability. Voice is pretty low compared to the metronome. Alright, so we have this is my voice in the desktop, so that means here. Okay. Alright, so my voice is there, my metronome is, let's bring the metronome down a little bit. So let's do a little quick check. Alright. How's the audio levels there for the sticks and the metronome? Good? Thank you, Francois, by the way, that's really helpful. Okay, so do that. Yeah, because my voice is going to be right here. If I'm looking over here as I talk, it's not going to come out that well. But imagine when I'm actually doing it, I'm going to be talking this way. So this is pretty much how my voice is going to be. And are you hearing it from here? Do you hear that? Is that the audio you hear? Or is it the desktop audio and the microphone that is coming in from? Okay, thank you. That tells me a lot here. So let me make sure that my audio input capture is the 4i4, which is this. just want to make sure that we have the 4i4 do what comes through. So here, I want to not have that. Seems to be a lot of bass noise on this here. Okay, can you hear me? Alright, we have some people coming in. Alright, please bear with me as I figure out all the logistics. Can you guys hear me? And Flesh be with you, Brady Magpie. Alright. Alright, so everybody can hear me perfect, because I don't want this microphone, I want this one here. Because if not, what's the point of having it? Okay, perfect. Alright, I've split my Panther. Okay, do I have to do underscore just to find it? So I should be able to see myself live. There we go, there I am. So share this out to my newsfeed. Drum practice. So right now we got everybody coming in from my Twitch, but sometimes people, especially the ones on Facebook, seem to prefer more YouTube, so I'm getting that one sent out. And I'll also share out the YouTube to the Discord. Okay, so alright, perfect. I swear next time I'll actually have this a little bit better figured out. Just balancing it all here, and I'll share this one out to the Discord to stream notifications. There we go. So now you guys have the option of either Twitch or YouTube, whichever you prefer. I'd actually like to see if there is some, looks like the YouTube is working down there. Okay, so let's figure out how we're going to get into this. First off, this whole stream is inspired by Drum Beats Online. He's a content creator that created, I'm not sure if he's the one that created the site or if he's working with somebody else who's created a site. He has his own thing called DBO Academy that does a lot of the stuff that I'm doing manually here, having some features that you can go into. It's behind a paywall, but here I'm just taking one of his free videos where he outlined a 20-minute workout. I've written down some notes, and I'm going to see if his 20-minute workout, how it's going to work on my speed. Now you could do a more involved where they change day to day. I'm just going to do this one video maybe for a week, 2 weeks, see how it goes, force myself on the stream. Everything's going to be linked in the description if you want to watch the video, and he will have links to more content and a site that I would say for tracking purposes there's some value in there. Right now I want to see first without, and then maybe go on and actually utilize the tool and see the value and what goes there as maybe a review. But for now I'm just going to kind of follow along to his public content here. So I'm going to follow his 20-minute pattern. So in there, basically I want to get faster, and I want to see if this will work. Okay, so just kind of we'll do 7 minutes of a technique called push and pull. That's what he calls it. It's basically you throw your stick down, you let it bounce up, and use your fingers to bring it back up. Now, I'd already been doing this technique before I saw this video, so I'm going to be a little bit further along than if somebody who's never seen this technique before and is going up. He does a really great job explaining it. One thing that I would like to add is you want to add a little bit more weight to your tip, because if you just throw it down flat, you don't get as much. So if you just let it drop, you're not going to get as much bounce back. I've heard through other drummers. Some people say it's like throwing a baseball or throwing something and letting it, basically just let it go down and try to make sure you have a good fulcrum. There's lessons out there for how to hold a stick, find the right spot, let it drop, and then find that. So just feel it out. Throw it down, and find ways that you get that snap back. Now my left hand is also very, very much the worst for that, but I want to practice it. Now I'm practicing on this Drumeo P4 practice pad. I designed by Pat Petrillo. They had a deal with him and he designed this practice pad. I like it because it has 4 different faces. That's a good one. Now, just pay no attention to this. I do not do traditional grip, obviously, and obviously this is the bad hand to do it in, because normally people are playing hand over and like this, right? You'll have your hi-hat and you do this. I play my drums open with my left hand here, with my right hand on the snare, then I switch and I do that on the ride. So if I flip it around, I'm playing around, that's not good traditional grip. Do not try to learn how I do traditional grip, because I do not know how to do that. Alright, so from there, I'm going to move into what he calls, now I'm going to say this is all that he calls, because alternating paradiddles and paradiddle-diddles, and then what he calls a tabata, which I've seen as a workout term. I don't know exactly the meaning, but basically bursting as fast as you can for 20 seconds, 10 seconds off for 8 sets at 4 minutes. So high intensity interval training basically, but going as fast as you can. Still good technique. You want the burn to be in the muscle and not the tendons. You want to pay attention because if you do really bad movements, or you're doing this, pay attention to where the pain is. You don't want the pain here under that carpal tunnel. You want to have good pain in the muscle that it's getting that workout. Best way I can say it is, if you've ever worked out your forearm with weights, you know where the burn is. That's what you want to feel. You don't want to feel it here. That's bad. Also, if you can, get a teacher to go over your technique, because I won't be going over there. So, and then he has something in the video, again, watch it, basically here, hand clapping. And yes, I'm going to do that for 2 minutes on camera, because I'm a masochist, I guess. Okay, so again, the video's in the description. I've got my metronome, and we're going to see at the end of the week, based on where I'm at for the metronome here, I'm probably going to find I'm going to stay around 80 and kind of see where it goes. When I've got my notes down here, and just kind of see how it goes. Okay, this is smaller so I can still at least see my video. And oh right, I forgot Windows has this feature. No, but OBS doesn't like to play like that. Alright, we'll figure it out. Because I put the... Oh, that should be fine. Alright, I guess we'll just jump right into it for people who want to... no, I'll put on the other side. Just make you smaller, I guess. So I don't need it that big. Just a tiny little metronome in the corner, so I can see it. Yeah, so originally I was going to try to set my GoPro. The cable that's required for it just broke. So I'm like, okay, alright, webcam it is. We'll see how that goes. It seems to be pretty decent quality. Is everybody still there? I'm just going to bring up Restream on my phone here. Oh, what happened? That's not good. I don't like that. That does not sound good at all. What's going on there? Oh, there we go. It was not fully plugged in. That's better. Okay, so just gonna check things. Sunday morning cartoons. You guys are doing a test there. Rocket. Hey. Yeah, I'm trying to get better at sharing it out and figuring all that kind of stuff out. All right, so this here, I'm just gonna use my timer on. Okay, go away, last pattern. Go here. All right. Do I have information on that? That's good. Pretty basic information that we have there. All right. Okay. Timer. We're gonna get 7 minutes, but before we begin that, very important, we want to take some time just to let the limbs kind of loosen up a little bit. Very important to stretch out your wrists, let them warm up. Mine are like very crackly. This is something I need to do more. Boom, boom, boom. All right, so for grip, I'm going to be using mostly German. I'm trying to keep it relaxed like that. You can also use French, but for now, I'm going to focus on the push-pull from the German. Okay, so if I put you there, all right, I got you all set up. So, all right, so I guess we are going to work on just basically the way that push-pull will work is we're going to alternate between singles and doubles. The singles and the doubles are equal distance, so you're always going to be playing eighth notes. So the singles are eighth notes. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 Alright, so I'm going to go through there. So I'm just going to pick probably 80 BPM, trying to stick on the notes, alternating between. I'm keeping track of everything in my head, so I'm going to try to, I'm not really watching any type of sheet music. The only thing I really have noted down, alright, you're over here, is whether it's a paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, with the first note that starts it off. That'll give me a reference for what my sticking should be. Other than that, I'm just, alternating between this, single, double, using the push-pull, single. Another thing I can do is use the push-pull for my singles, which is actually really nice because once you get the push-pull up to speed and you want to do singles, and you can get that alternating, kind of like a zipper, you put them together, it's going to be really fast. So I might still do my singles with the push-pull. Singles instead of 1 E and 2 E, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and yeah. So I'm going to try to push myself to do that, just to get myself practicing what he calls the push pull, or push, pull it up. I like that name. That comes from Drum Beats Online, but we'll take a look. And hopefully this gives you an idea if you're interested in the online course. This is basically, I want to try something that's available to everybody. You can watch the video that I'm basing this off of and see if you want to go into his course. Alright, so we're quite a ways in. I'm gonna do the 20 minutes part now. This is my first time doing it, so I'm probably going to mess up a bit, but as I get into the groove, it's going to be a little bit easier. And doing this live, alright, so we're going to start off the first part, which is the push-pull, and I'm going to start it off now. Alright, so... Oh, God, this sounds so boom, boom. 1, 2, 3.
So getting the push-pull into the singles is a bit harder than I thought it was going to be, but let's give it a try. 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 2. Boom, boom, boom. 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 2, 3, 4 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1. Boom, boom. Okay, no counting. Thank you. 3, 4. Oh, keeping my time while trying to focus on the technique. So 1, 2, 3. Technique, that left hand. 2, 3, 4. Okay, I'm gonna switch up and I'm gonna leave with my left. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Boom, boom, pop, 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 boom, pop, pop. Okay. Well, relax the shoulders here. Always listen to your body. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Two, three, 4. Okay, 1.5 minutes left. So I can move it around a bit maybe. So I'm moving from 8th notes to 16th notes now at 80. 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2. Okay, I want to make sure the notes are even as much as possible. 1 and a 2 and a 3. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4. Let's left hand lead. Okay, so that's it for the 7 minutes. Okay, so dismiss. Alright, cancel. Perfect. Alright, so that was interesting, going through singles and doubles, doing boom, boom, pop, pop. Throw, throw, snap, snap. Push, push, pull, pull. Instead of do, 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 do. So one hand throw per stroke. So there's going to be a kind of a limit to how fast my wrists are going to be able to go. So if I get used to throwing boom, boom, right? So that's 2 strokes per hand throw. I throw the hand down, and when I bring the hand up, my fingers snap. So imagine the same thing. I'm basically assuming that I can time the bounce and get the finger snap properly. When I get up to the higher speeds to where I'm maxing out how fast I can move my hands, I'm actually moving at double the speed, because every time I throw my hand down, I'm going to be doing 2 strokes. So that's why I really want to focus on getting this good, clean. I still have a ways to go. There's a lot that I need to clean up on this. I would say 80 is a bit slow, but so if I do 8th notes at 80, I'm still cleaning it up a bit. And I challenged myself a little bit by doing into 16th notes near the end, just to kind of, see it's still a bit messy at 16th notes at 80, but it's definitely fun. All right, so here now we go into thank you. All right, so now the next 7 minutes, I'm going to be alternating paradiddles. So a paradiddle is right, left, right, or left, right, left. Now, in this particular one, accent and a ghost note. So accent, ghost note. So my goal through this is to make sure that these ghost notes are as quiet as possible, so that even if I'm and that's still something I'm working on, trying to get these ghost notes consistently small so it doesn't come up over the stick. And also too, here I want to try to come to the same spot every time with my accent. Now I have a little bit of a visual representation that I can watch, because I have my audio levels, and I can try to aim to have my strong note within a range of what I see right now, because so let me go to it's right at the top of the yellow, it's right in the clipping. So I'm actually going to do something here. I'm going to pull this back a little bit. Still doing its thing. Actually, let me turn this down a little bit. I want to make sure that I'm not going to clip you guys. Alright, let me know how the audio goes. I want to make sure that I know that this is going to be louder than my voice. For now, I think that's fine. I can definitely bring that down a little bit. So yeah, I don't know how to balance that quite yet, but let me know if it's too much for your ears. Alright, so let me just check to see what's going on with the stream. Alright, so we have two pieces. We have the paradiddle, and then we have a paradiddle diddle, but he is accenting both the bump. So I've seen it a lot, like strike, so right, left, right, right, left, left, when I see it elsewhere, but he's got right, left, 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 right, left. So a paradiddle, 4 of those, 2 paradiddle diddles and a paradiddle, and then I'm going to repeat it, and then I'm going to have the sticking with my left hand, so it's right, left, right, right. So it's going to hit with the right, then the left, right, left, right, left, 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 right, left, and then right. And then the alternating is going to be left, right, left, right, left, left, right, left. So this is my first time going through. I've not done this sticking before, and that's one of the points that he brought up in the video, is to play fast, to internalize these patterns. So that's what I'm going to try to do over this week. In the beginning, it's probably going to be very choppy as I internalize it. Luckily for the paradiddles, I have done practice with that before with my drum teacher, so that's going to be good. And the paradiddle diddle as well, so I'm not going in blind, but it's going to take me a little while to get it good. So now, these are 16th notes, meaning they're double the speed of the half notes. So I was playing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? And then at the end I was doing 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a, right? So that's how we're going to count the 16th notes. So every beat, I'm going to count 4 notes, right? And what you hear in the metronome is the beat. 1, 2, 3, 4, D, 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 D. And I'm going to be counting in my head the subdivision of 16th notes. So that's what you're going to see me doing. And I'm going to do 7 minutes of this alternating paradiddle. So I'm going to actually slow it down a little bit. Since I'm going to be doing 16th notes, I'm going to try it at 70. Just to make sure that, and this thing is annoying because it's a dragging slider. Or I can do it at 69. Nice. Now I'm going to do 70. Alright. Let's see. So this is the next 7 minutes. And then we're going to see how fast I can blitz at 20 seconds. Alright, so... Alright. Oh, the sound. Yeah, I just do not like the sound of this metronome at all. Alright, so that's the first line. That's the paradiddles. 2, 3, 4, 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a... Alright. So that's if I do the sticking completely with singles, and then even the double. I should be using the push-pull, but on the smaller. So. Alright, so I'm going to try to make sure I continue to put the push-pull in, so. That's where it's going to get hard, where forcing myself to use these techniques where I haven't before. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright. For now, I'm going to practice it offline. I'm going to just do normal paradiddles. 2, 3, 4. Alright, so then now I need to add in the other line, which is the paradiddle diddle. So that which just sounds like this. 2, 4. So groupings of 6. 2 groupings of 6 with 1 grouping of 4. So that gives us the 16th notes in the 16 notes. 2, 2, 3, 4. So that's going to switch the sticking. Alright. 2, 2, 2, 3, 4. Alright, let's get this going. 2, 4. view over here. Okay, it's not in the speed at all. Alright, 1 second here. Gotta figure this out. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 2E. Okay, so I gotta get this internalized here. 2, 3, 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E. Okay, come back in on the 1. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. 1E and a 2E. 2. 1E and a 2E. Pretty diddles. 2, 3, 4. 1E and a 2E. 1, 2. There we go. Nope. 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2, 3, 4. Okay. Boom. So you're seeing me work through this for the very first time. I had no previous practice, so you're going to see a lot of my learning. 2, 3, 4. Okay. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So if it's on 6, that means the next beat is going to come in on the and. So 1E and a 2E and. So on the and of 2, I'm going to do. Okay. So I'm just trying to visualize the sticking in my head because I do not have it written out. I just have reference notes here. 2, 4, 4, 1, 2, that's just me fucking around. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. 2, 4. Alright. So what I'm going to do here is, before I even jump into the metronome, without the metronome, I'm going to get the sticking down and then try to go in there. So 1E and a 2E. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E, 3E and a 4E and a 1E. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a. So it goes 1, 2. So I'm not hitting here properly. As you can hear, I'm hitting like this, and I want to be hitting like this. That's great on a hi-hat, but I want to make sure that I'm only doing what I want to do. So if I'm not planning on hitting like that, I shouldn't be. My goal is to hit with the tip. Let's see here, 90 degrees. I can probably lower it a little bit. It seems a bit high, so let me lower it down just a little bit. Readjust. Never be afraid to. Okay. 90, let it relax. Find what is comfortable for you. Okay, so let's give that a go again. So today, let's say day 1 is me just figuring out the sticking and playing around with it before jumping into actually doing the timed minutes of it. And I have no idea if the person who's created this, he has a YouTube channel. Again, check the description of the stream. I'm like literally streaming to like 3 people, so I doubt you'll see it. But let's go through again. So. keep in mind the sound that you want to get, and be critical of all the sounds that you're putting out. Try to hear even tone. Even then, there's two different tones, but it all depends on where you hit and how hard you hit. Tap, 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 tap. Exactly. But when you can hear the tone difference and the dynamic difference between your two hands, you don't want that. You want it to be as even as possible. Alright, so again, I'm going to try it again. So right, left, tap, tap. So right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, left. Right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left, right, right. God, I'm sorry. See, that's another thing too. Like, I'm coming all the way up here. That's a bit excessive. So I want to stop my sticks about here, but I have a real big habit of just bringing my stick up all the way up to here and just really coming down here. So I want to throw it down, straight back up. Alright, okay, I got a vibration over here. What is going on? What's going on? Yeah, that's right. We're getting a bit of vocals coming in here. I'm so sorry. Okay, so boom, boom, boom. Alright, so right, left, left, left. Right, left, right, right, left, left, right, left. So when in doubt, slow it down. Make sure you have the sticking properly. You can play it cleanly and then bring up the speed. Especially streaming this is going to be a big push to me to be as humble as possible, because I need to say, oh, I can't do it at that speed, I'm going to have to slow down. And doing that with people watching is, if I can do it with people watching, I should be able to do it with people with it alone, because it should be harder to admit that I'm going slower if my ego's playing into it at all. So let's try that out. So right, left. Alright. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to get that again, because that part I've done a lot. I even do the accent second note. So it's just about moving the accents around. So that one's the easiest because the accents come in on the beat. Boom, 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 boom. So you kind of get a feel for it just kind of hitting on the beat, right? And if you do the accent on the second one, especially if you're hitting the bass, you get this kind of push like. Alright, now I'm just kind of getting sidetracked again. Alright, let's see if I can get through it all the way through, at least on one going from the paradiddles into the paradiddle diddles. So right, left, right, right, left. Alright, so that's one way through. That is one sticking. Now, if I were to do it again, it would alternate the sticking to the other hand. So it would be this. So left, right. Alright, coming back in on the right to restart it all over again. So that's my goal, to be able to go through those two stickings I just showed you, one after the other, over and over and over again for 7 minutes, right? So obviously, to be able to do it over and over again for 7 minutes, I need to figure out the speed in which I can do it consistently and not flub up. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm trying to take these stickings and I'm trying to learn it so it's... Oh, by the way, thank you for liking the shirt. Alright. And so yeah, just kind of explaining my process, going through this, going through the little... It's basically 3 steps or three. Well, let me actually bring it up here. I'll read off the title that I have here. 3 Steps to Faster Hand Speed by Drum Beats Online. So if you want to search it up and not go with the link that's in the description, you can find it by that title. And I'm kind of adding some of my own information on it as well, but I'm trying not to repeat his information too much. Watch the video, please. Show some love and support if you're interested, but trying to add also my own information as well of what I've learned over the last 5 years. I like to collect different techniques. And there's so many different ways on the drums to achieve different effects. Accents. That's more of a molar. So I'm trying to lift my arm up, doing the tap notes as I'm lifting, so that when I get to the top, I whip using the weight of my arm. So that's what I'm trying to go through, and proper technique and speed, it should be effortless. Now, at some point, I might switch from this little practice pad here to the kit on the snare, move it around the kit, because on my previous live streams when I was over on the kit, I noticed the comfort that I have here doesn't quite translate to moving around the kit. So I do have to get up and practice on the actual kit as well, because while this does have multiple surfaces, it's not the same as actually moving around a kit. Alright, so let's try to go through all the way through. So alright, this, I gotta stop with this. This is a very expensive microphone and I am going to hurt it. So none of this craziness here where it's hitting this. I want to stop. So keep it within this range. So that's what I'm going to focus on. I'm going to focus on watching here and making sure that my sticks stay at the reference point that I want. I have a horrible habit of just almost Stevie Wonder, Rachel. No, I think it's Rachel. I don't know. I'm just looking around, not looking at my sticks, getting a feel. But that's not necessarily the best thing. Getting a point of reference and just always coming up to the same spot if I can. That's one thing I want to think about. So you can hear that. Because even right now I can feel the tone difference between my two hands. That's what I was trying to feel out there. Da, 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 da. This one, the right hand almost feels lower in tone than the right one. So I could gain super fast speed and blaze around, but if my two strokes sound different, it's going to sound bad if I'm not meaning to do it. So my goal here today is, as I'm gaining the speed, I'm also trying to gain a bit of control over the strokes. 1, 2. I don't know if it's just how I'm striking, so boom. Sorry about this. I'm sure it's really fun to watch me just trying to what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to feel out my left hand, my right hand. I'm trying to, because it's not a location. Even then, so I'm trying to. Still a bit of tone difference. It's subtle, but I want to kind of close that gap. I want, if you close your eyes, you can't tell which hand I'm hitting with. And that's my end goal. Am I there yet? Not really. But that's some of the things that I'm thinking about as I'm hitting this practice pad is how do I use my senses? I have my sticks here. Right, I get a reference point. I want it to come and touch the same line each time. I want my arms relaxed. If I'm feeling any tension in the wrist, I want to that's the thing. And this is something I struggle with day to day is just getting that left hand to feel as natural. So even that was just, it just doesn't feel smooth. Right? So that's what I'm trying to get back to, trying to figure out this sticking. So in my repertoire, it's taking a little bit longer for me to get this whole, 4-measure repeated patterns. So one measure of paradiddles, one measure of paradiddle diddle twice, followed by one last paradiddle, and then that 2 measures repeated, but with invert sticking. So I'll be messing around on this. If you have any questions about drums in general, I'm not an expert, but if I do have experience, I'll let you know. If I don't know it, I'll say I won't know it. I love to just hunt down techniques and just practice them. So that's trying to make my arms move as little as possible. It's a fulcrum, right? If you allow the stick to move instead of your arm. Right there is why, bouncy. I love this pad here. I can be watching TV. I can pick this as a voice, say my hi-hat. So it gives me a little bit more feel of different voices and playing around it. Flip stick everywhere. Yeah, that's pretty much what I do. Sorry, just slid into the chat. I'm some vibrations going here. Alright, so let's get this sticking down. Obviously, other than that, everything else, he does this for 2 minutes. So that's going to be fun when I start to actually do the training, and there's going to be video online of me doing that for 2 minutes straight. It's a real thing. Alright, so let's try it again. I'm going to go all the way through one sticking, so right. And then let's start the left again. So left. Alright, so I almost made it all the way through 2 times. So that's good. I messed up on the last paradiddle, but that's fine. So boom, boom, boom. Alright, what's going on with the messages here? Okay, sorry. Check my phone here. Alright guys, I'm streaming. So yeah. Okay. Alright. How you doing there, Rocket? You having a good time? Alright, I'm definitely still not playing it the smoothest, but I'm starting to internalize the pattern a little bit more. Letting, so I can make stickers of awesome quality out of it. Very nice. Rocket is actually a artistic friend that makes some very, very beautiful artwork. I believe you're going to be doing also prints. Is that right, Rocket? Okay, I've got to stop putting my sticks here. That's just too suggestive. Alright, so let me try getting through it again. Okay. Okay, there we go. I'm starting to get a feel for it. Okay, hopefully I'll make some prints, and I'm still learning to turn traditional art into digital forms. Thank you. I still have a long way to go. If you want a reference for the kind of person who created this program that I'm going to be using for the next week, so I'm actually going to call this day 0, because this is the day where I'm internalizing the patterns, kind of getting them in, not necessarily doing them to a metronome. I can definitely do the push-pull to a metronome, as you saw me do, but the paradiddle into paradiddle diddle, I still need some work on. So that's what I'm going to be doing today. Hopefully by the end of this stream, I'm going to have it internalized to the point where I can throw it down to a click and just click, which means metronome, is what you heard earlier, and I'll slowly be able to increase it. So I'm going to go through again. So oh crap, okay, I lost it there. So it's probably a bad habit that I have here is I like to close my eyes. I try to feel it. I try to do that. I do need to get a little bit more habit of keeping my eyes open and using that as a tool. But usually when I'm behind the kit and I'm grooving, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling the pulse of the song, and that's when I find I play my best drums, when my body is fully connected to the music. I feel it through my chest, through my breathing, and then it's just the most fun. For example, now it's just something thrown around. I still have a lot of work to do on my fills, and gaining the vocabulary to make something interesting and moving around at speed, which is why I'm doing this hand speed challenge, because paradiddles, singles, doubles, these are all things that I'm going to be using. And I also have another regiment that I do with my drum teacher, but I don't want to just put his practice up, which is why I picked a public available video, taking that, practicing it out, linking back to him. That way, if any drummers do see me and they like what I'm doing, they can go to his video and maybe I'll sign up for his training, because I know that not everybody can afford to pay for a music teacher every week. So sometimes these online courses are a affordable alternative. But I still want to say that if you have the time and money, it is worth it to get a teacher. They're going to be able to give you the one-on-one. They're going to be able to look at your technique and just kind of help you push past it a little bit better. But I understand that's not available for everybody, which is why I'm doing it this way. Okay. Alright. Let's try that again. Alright, so I almost got to the end there. Okay, so that's a habit that I have there, is when I start to feel that I've internalized it. So this is a 4-measure pattern, right? So I felt that I did the first part of the pattern well, and I messed up at the end. So an instinct of mine is, I'm like, okay, well, I want to get back to the place where I messed up, so I'll increase the speed because I want to get there. Now, it's not always the best way to go about it. If you have a particular spot that you're struggling with, my drum teacher helps me out with this a lot, is pick out that part and get that down and then incorporate it. Because, speeding up early or too fast, not too fast, can have the counterproductive one. So I'm going to do, so left, right, left, left. So left, 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 right, left, left, left. So if I, that's another thing too, saying the sticking as I'm doing it is adding another layer of computation in my CPU, as Gavin Harris analogy that he likes to use. So left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right? So that ending part is where I messed up. So left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, 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 right, left, left. All right. So also I'm gonna start to verbally left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left. Maybe vocalize the accents. Start to, if you can hum it, if you can sing it, if you can verbalize it, you're going to be able to internalize it even better. Left, right, left, right, right, right. So even myself, I don't have it quite internally. I can't sing it. So why I want to kind of be able to beatbox a little bit, being able to. I have just started, so I'm not that good at it, but vocally singing things, internalizing stuff. Left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, left, right. So obviously there's going to be a maximum speed at which I can do the full words, because it's going to be a tongue twister. So usually when you get into the faster, I usually make either beatboxing noises or other ways to sing and verbalize it. But let's just try it without the verbalization, or even counting 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2. So that's another way to make sure that when you start to get towards the metronome, because when the metronome comes in, what I do is I sing my subdivision while I'm playing to really make sure that I'm locked in. It is a Alien. of some sort. Is that the Android Alien? I am unfamiliar of what you mean. Okay, so yeah, that's another thing that I like to do is I'll count the subdivision as I'm playing. Brain slug. Okay. So that's what I personally like to do. This is all me talking in how I personally like to practice, and one of the things that I'm coming up with as I'm trying to learn this sticking and these rudiments that he has laid out in the lesson. So because at a certain point, once I normalize this, similar to what I did the first one for the first 7 minutes, is I want to throw on a click and I want to play this over top of it. Now, the paradiddles, these I've already done. I've done these to a click before, so I could let's just see that 2, 3, 4, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E, and I want to hit on that 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a right. That's how trying to get. One thing I struggled with is jumping into 16th notes. So let's see if I can do it with this one. Still not quite there. So heal the beat. 2, 3, 4. Trying to get that even spacing, like to be able to play it monotone, the dynamics not moving. And I want that same experience with my sticks. Jumping right in. 2, 3, 4. So normally with a click, I don't want to hear. I want. If I'm right on, I'm going to bury the click. I'm not going to hear the click because it's going to be so in line with my stroke that it's going to disappear. I don't know if I'm going to get it. Sounds awful. Now, I'm saying that by, I'm not trying to be too hard on myself, but I need to be able to hear when it doesn't sound the way that I want it to sound. And it's completely okay that it doesn't sound the way that I want it to sound right now. Right? We're all in the journey. We're all trying to get better. But if I can't hear that it sounds bad to my own ear, I'm never going to be able to make it sound better. So trying to really train my own ear so I can hear when I'm off. Oh, no, I was off there. Right? Now, this is practice. I'm not performing for you guys. So if I twitch, I'm like, no, this, that. It's really in the practice mode where I'm being extra critical of my ear. Now, if you're performing, try not to have twitches and this and that. One of my singing teacher brings that up to me a lot because when I'm practicing singing, I'll feel when I'm off tone or I'll make a mistake and I'll show it in my face. I think that's fine in practice, but you have to understand not to bring that into your performance. Even if you mess up, go with it. That's something I've heard from multiple people and my singing teacher as well. So let's do 70 ppm paradiddles. 2, 3, 4. So those ones are pretty fun. But now let's see if I can add in the second part of it, which is the paradiddle-diddles, or the ta-ta. 2, 3, 4. Alright, so one thing is I hit, and then on the third right, I'm going to go into the paradiddle-diddles. So that's what I'm going to be listening for. I can count it, 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E. So that's another thing. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, right? That's how you count it out. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. Now, I don't feel I'm counting evenly there, and I feel I want to make sure that I'm not practicing to a click, but my own internal clock is as even as possible. When you catch yourself when you're cutting the notes shorter here and there, and try to, even without the click, internalize your clock and just get it on the beats as much as possible. I feel I was not quite all there on that one, which is fine, but I need to be able to hear it as well. 1E and 2E and 3E and 4E and 1E and. Alright, went into the parallels there. See? Going in paradiddle instead of paradiddle-diddle. I'm going to try to go in left right there at the end. Did it 3 times in a row instead of 2 paradiddle-diddles. PDDs. It's just a really weird thing to say. Paradiddles and a paradiddle-diddle. I will say, drum rudiments have some of the most interesting names. Flams, and I'm not even going to try it because I don't have all the paradiddle, all the rudiments in my head. So, but just take my word for it. There's some interesting names there. When it comes to rudiments, I'm still very rudimentary. No. Still very much in the beginning phase of going through my rudiments. But even on grooves that I'm learning that are a little bit harder than I'm used to, I can get through it once, but going from beat 4 into beat 1 on the repeat, even though we were playing the same thing, sometimes I can hiccup there, right? So if you can play it twice in a row clean every time, you should be able to play it indefinitely, right? If you're always consistently getting it twice in a row, there should be no reason why you can't do it 3 times in a row, 4 times in a row, because it's just really doing the exact same thing as when you're going through it twice. So that's always my goal, to cleanly be able to go through twice in a row every time, because it's just stacked, right? If you're always doing it 100% of the time, there should be nothing stopping you from doing it indefinitely. So that's my goal, is being able to do it, 2 or 3 times in a row. Alright, so there I went through the 4 measures all the way through. Okay, so now I'm going to try to go through the 4 measures twice. So it's going to be 8 measures of 4/4, and running through the whole thing twice. That's going to be what I'm going to try to do here. I'm going to do that, and then I'm going to try to get it in with a click. And if I can do that by the end of the day, I can then start tomorrow going through and picking a BPM and just starting wherever I can, whether it be 60, 65, whatever it may be, and just go through and do it, get my dynamics down, and just tighten it up and speed it up, right? So let's see if we can do that. Okay, I lost my place a little bit there on the second playthrough. which would be on measure 7, I believe, going into measure 7, which is the left hand lead paradiddle diddle. I didn't quite go in at the right time, but that's still a bit of progress. I made it through 6 measures, or if you want to say 75% of it, which is more than I did at the beginning. So try to keep track of your progress. Try to find ways to not make yourself get discouraged when practicing. Everybody learns at a different rate, and I realized like this camera setup makes it very hard for me like to look directly into the camera, but and there's a light on it which makes it very bright. But yes, you might pick it up and I can do it right away. Thank you, Rocket. And other people, it might take longer. And however long it takes you to get it, that's how long it takes you to get it. There's so many great drummers out there, and we're all on the same journey, just different places. And don't compare your speed of learning to somebody else's. Use them as I want to get there, and I love that they're doing that I want to be able to do, but don't let it discourage you, right? They were at one point or the other where you are at the moment. I've been doing this for 5 years, and I could definitely be a lot farther along in my drumming if I spent more time on it. It's just a matter of the hours that you put in. So let's see if we can get it all the way through 2 times at least. I'm messing something up there going into it. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and Okay, so yeah, going in. So let's talk about where I'm struggling here. So, while doing this in my head, I am not keeping track of the 1, right? So, what's happening in my head, because I'm not constantly 1, 2, 3, 4, or I'm not doing 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, because I'm not keeping track of that in my head, which you should do, because what you're seeing is I'm losing track of how many times I've played the paradiddles, and I'm not coming back in on the paradiddle on the right time. So, and I know why it's happening for me, because after I do the second here, where I do that's a paradiddle, right? So I have this, and then it should be coming in on the left, and in my head I'm losing track of that. So I really need to make sure I work on my internal clock, that I'm always knowing where I am in reference to the beat of 1, 2, 3, or 4, where I am, and definitely losing track of that. So let's I'm going to try to work on keeping track of that as I go. Okay, so I lost a little bit there. So 1. Alright, so I played an extra paradiddle when I wasn't supposed to in there, so I didn't quite get through it all the way 100% clean, but I do see some progress in there. Don't be afraid to say, oh, I did that wrong. Nope, I was off there. Right? That's important. You should be able to hear your mistakes, and okay, that's what I'm going to correct. Understand why you made a mistake. Try to this help click that piece of information of that's plateauing you, right? There's so many resources. Let's see here. It looks like, did I even post my thing on for YouTube? Because it's you, Rocket. It looks like me practicing isn't as popular. But to be honest, I didn't expect it to be. This is more really for me to be accountable for practice. And if people get something out of it, awesome. Um, right now, I'm gonna try to make it so I can jump on really quickly and just go. I've got a view for drum practice. I think it'll be pretty easy for me to set this up and go and practice every day, and go through it. And also too, talk out loud and just talk to myself and you guys in chat if you ever join me and answer questions or just verbalize what it is that I'm thinking. Now, my drum teacher might jump on and be like, "Oh, face palm," because of the stuff that I'm saying, but even then, I'm putting out this information, he can correct me, and I can go in and next video be like, "Oh, by the way, the thing I said there was actually incorrect. It should be this." Or I'm gonna try not to put out any misinformation. Keep in mind, I'm just a person who grabbed drums a few years ago, got a teacher. I am not a music student. This is all the teacher, but not like somebody who's gone to university or that to study music. Disclaimer. The more you know. Alright, cool. So with that in mind, I'm going to try to get through it again. Okay, I lost it there a little bit. Okay, so I'm messing up in that spot. Alright. So when I go into the final, it would be the final 25% of this, or the last measures 7 and 8, where we're doing left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left, 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 left. And coming back in. For some reason, this part, I'm messing up the sticking. So I'm going to go through, I'm going to take these two measures, a measure of 4/4, and I'm going to practice them a little bit to make sure I have that in me, internalized, not in me, that sounds very awful, but internalized. So let's do that, fix that part up, and then try it again. So left, right, left, left, right, right, left, right, left. Okay. Okay. Do it one more time. Alright, so that's good. And hopefully this day 0 of me taking this 20-minute workout, figuring out can I even do it, and getting myself to the level where I can even do the practice. Because here's the thing, don't get discouraged. If you grab a regiment from somebody online and there's pieces that you don't know, well, just watch this. I threw on the metronome and I crashed and burned. But that's okay. It's okay to crash and burn on something you haven't done before. Just slow down, try it, take the time you need to learn it, and just do it. We all have moments where we don't know something. But my biggest advice is don't get discouraged. Just look at me. I'm making the utter fool. No, I wouldn't say a fool, but I'm putting myself online, and yeah, you're gonna see me fail. You're gonna see me mess up, and if you don't take anything out of what I say, I hope that you can take at least some inspiration to the fact that I don't mind looking like a fool on the internet and throwing my learning out there, because it's learning. You gotta mess up to get better, right? Okay, so let's try all the way through. Oh, messed it up there. Yes, it is absolutely okay to be a fool on the internet, because really, to a certain degree, who cares what other people think, right? This is my ethos on the dance floor. So, like, I love to dance, love to move, and when I get on that dance floor, I escape into that music. I try to be aware of people as much as possible because sometimes when I close my eyes, I have almost hit people before while dancing, so I have to maintain a base level of awareness around me, or else I'm going to hurt people. But to that level, I keep my surroundings in mind. But other than that, I'm completely lost in the music. And it kind of annoys some people that dance with me from time to time because, you know, I almost make it to just me and the music. Yeah, yeah, Rocket, I've seen that. you know, um, don't care what people think. Dance like nobody's watching, or dance like you're only connected to the music. But still be kind to people around you. Still be considerate. Don't just go into a non-moshing crowd and start throwing elbows and start hurting people when that's not the part that it needs to be. But if you're not bumping into people in your own space and you're having a good time, just do it. People just dance if you want to dance. I'll tell you a little secret. Nobody really watches. Nobody really cares. Everybody's in their own world. Sometimes you're gonna get people that connect with you and they're like, "Oh, you're dancing," and you'll have a good moment. But for the most part, people are there and they're in their own head. So that little voice in your head that says that everybody's looking at you, most of the time they're not. Most people are just tunnel vision, and as soon as you realize that, you realize it's a little bit freeing to realize that. Wax philosophical as I practice the drum pads. All right, so let's go through a little bit again. Let's see what if I can get it. I noticed I had a couple of notes last time where I hit like this. I don't want that. I want to be hitting with the tip of my stick. You can do that on the, say, you'll have the hi-hat where you have that sound and you hit the top. But if you don't want to do that, then it's not good. Adam Neely, repetition. Oh god, I'm going to misquote him here. I don't want to misquote him. But anyway, repetition, repetition, repetition. If you meant to do it, you do it over and over again. It's music. If not, it's a mistake. Paraphrasing. If you're interested, go look up Adam Neely. But you want to be, there's happy accidents. But for the most part, you want to be doing things because you want to. Even then, it's you want to be in control. You want to do the things that happen because you meant it to sound like that. The better you get at music, the more it's going to be like, you can still discover, throw it around like, oh, I like that sound, and bring it in. But when you're performing and you're going, you want to be in control of your instrument at any speed. And that's my goal, is to be in control of my dynamics, be in control of what I do. And in a lot of ways, I'm still out of control. But that's my journey of like, oh, nope, that's off. I need to fix that. So my goal today is to get to a click with the pattern that's in the paradiddle and paradiddle, and I want it to be some semblance of clean. Now I can clean it up as I go through this workout, and the next stream is probably going to be a lot more focused. I'll actually do the 20 minutes straight with the whole thing, because I'm going to show you after I get this down. I'm going to go quickly through the other two parts, which are basically going as fast as you can for 20 seconds, 10 seconds rest. 20 seconds as fast as you can, 10 seconds rest. Again, you want to feel it in the muscle, not here. Alright, so let's go see if we can get it. Messed it up there near the end. So I'm back to not even getting through it a whole one through. And sometimes you're gonna have that. You're gonna have like in progress, anything in life is not linear. You're like, oh yeah, I got it through it twice. Oh crap, I can't get it through it again. You know, it takes a long time for things to internalize into your playing, and hopefully by sticking to this for a set every day, I'm still going to be doing my other practice as well, but this is the practice that I'm going to force myself to film. Sorry, check my phone. Alright, what do we got here? Oh, wait. Ooh, Rocket, your painting is coming in quite nicely. I'm just checking out Rocket's lovely painting on Discord. Do. And at some point, I think I'll try to get some chat in here. So you know, I'm practicing and maybe getting some of the Discord chat. So you guys can ask questions a little bit more freely and just talk. If you guys don't mind my little tappity tap 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 to tap tap. Actually, tomorrow I have French lesson, guitar, drum lesson, and vocal lessons all congealed on the same day because everybody rescheduled. But that's fine. All right, let's do this. To utilize this time in a I'm saving so much money not ordering out as much. Now I'm cooking, you see on my socials, and I want to invest that money back into myself because I'm in a very privileged position to where I can afford to do so, and I find that's money well spent. It's spent enriching myself to get myself better at things that I like to learn. All right, so. Okay, so again, right there, what you saw, I was losing track of the beats. So again, keeping the one the 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E, all the subdivisions counted in my head, because it's going to be very important when I start to put the click or the metronome on that I can root in. So. Okay, messed up at the end. Okay, so that one I got through quite a bit. I was able to get through, I believe, a little bit over 2 times, so that's my best so far, so that's great. Okay, I'm just gonna take a look in a book, because it's reading Rainbow. Oh, I don't know. Alright, so Rocket, you are currently. Oh no, sorry, my phone is going a bit crazy. Alright, okay, cool. So I'm gonna do it based on this video and this practice. I might, depending on how things go, maybe I'll take a look at reviewing the actual tracking tools and giving you guys well, actually, no, that'd be not really working, because if I did that, I'm basically giving out what he pays, right? So this is why I'm basing everything that I do and I'm streaming on the free stuff, right? If I were to pay the membership and then just stream what I do and I practice every day, I'm giving away too much of the value that he brings. So I want to make sure that I stick to free content that is freely available, and I build my stuff around that and still link originally back to him, because it's a fine line between you know, drawing attention and bringing traffic to somebody and then just literally stealing the value that they bring. So I want to be very careful with that and lift people up in the community and not just yank and take from them. who knows? Maybe he'll catch wind of this, and I highly doubt it because right now we just got you, Rocket. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. I appreciate it. Okay, let's get through it again. We be hanging out. And yeah, the one thing I want to figure out is how to do stuff that like when you do your art. You're watching somebody create artwork. Enigma13, she did a stream earlier. Go follow her, Enigma13. That's Enigma.1.3. Did a live stream here. Rocket, go ahead and share out your link as well if you want in the because I'm not really sure which one you're going to stream to. If you want to share it out there, go follow and support local artists because I'm local to Montreal. But yeah, the Rocket stream here and Enigma13, it was really fun to sit in and watch on hers as well. So alright, let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I'm starting to get through all the way through, but I do like is a little underlying behind what I'm doing, really exaggerating my move. 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's break it down, right? So you're gonna hit as you're dancing. You're gonna accentuate on left or right, right? So we're gonna hit on the 1 on this side. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, what this can do is this can have your body moving and it anchors you too. So you're going to hit the 1 and the 3 on the other sides, and the down in the middle, almost like a V, you're going to have the 2 and the 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, this has two things. One, it relaxes you. You look like you're having a good time because you're grooving, you're dancing to the music. And two, if you can almost like getting it to be an ostinato, you can, which is something that's consistent throughout your playing. If your dancing is always there, and you always feel it, you always feel the beat going through, and you keep that constant with your body, you're much more likely when you do mess up to have a reference to the beat. Now, I've played so many times when I go, especially into my fills, and if you look at my old streams, you can see it when I'm grooving, and you can see when I'm feeling it, boom, the music going through my body, and then suddenly I go into the fill, and I'm just seized up, right? So now I want to, before jumping into the metronome, I want to see if I can feel how this does, and just like feel the beats in my body, and making sure that I'm always finding a way to keep a reference to coming back in on the 1. Now with the groupings of 6, so the boom, boom, bop, 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 bop. So those are 6 notes, right? So that makes it a bit harder for me to keep the feel of it because it's not 1, 2, 3, 4. which is very evenly split between the beats. Where it's 6, 1, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. The next hit is on the ah of 2, so you have 1 E and a 2 E, so the and of 2, and. Whereas 1 E and a 2, all the accents fall on the beats, which makes it very easy. So I need to make sure that I continue to keep that good reference of feeling where this comes down, so that when I do turn on the metronome, I can make sure I'm playing in time with it, but also I'm not relying too heavily on it. I get the feel for it as well. So, okay, so. Alright, so lots of sticking there, so. Alright, so let's analyze what happened here a little bit. So, one, I wasn't looking at my sticks at all. I was just kind of floating here, kind of dancing. I started to hum a little bit, try to sing a bit what I'm doing. Now my hands dropped a little bit. It felt like it did. I started to hear a little bit more of the rim come in, which I don't want. So that's something I need to watch out for. There is so many little things for you to think about when you're doing music, right? So if you isolate, I'm just going to drop and pick up my stick, right? I don't care about the timing in between them. You can focus on that. That's less that you have to go in there. So internalizing things into your playing so that it takes up less and less space. So Gavin Harris, Drumeo, did a great talk about this. If you search up Gavin Harris, Drumeo, you'll see one of his hour-long live streams. He talks about the CPU and being overloaded. I don't want to, excuse me, please check it out, but his analogy I like a lot is, in how I feel about it, is when I'm trying to do new things and I don't have enough space to think about it. I'm thinking about doing this and then that. The best way I can explain it is eighth notes on the hi-hat. That got so ingrained because that it's autopilot. Because that's autopilot, just eighth notes, I can do things with the other hand because I can kind of set it and forget it and then do other stuff over it. My goal is to get more and more things to where I can, what I'm dubbing setting it and forgetting it, to hear what you're doing and think about the dynamics, think about making it sound good, you're going to have a better chance of doing that. So, drummers of different skill levels have different capacities. Vinny Colaiuta, I'm butchering his name, Vinny, but he, crazy the time that he put into practice and what he can do. But that's just a sign of when you put in the hours and the dedication, you can get to some crazy looks. Thomas Lang with his feet technique, it's crazy. You should check him out. Check out Thomas Lang's videos on foot technique. He puts some stuff on YouTube. Highly recommend that. Alright, so let's try it again. Okay. So Alright, so All right, doing the paradiddles. Let's just take a look at that. I could sing it with the paradiddles, but I kind of stopped singing throughout the paradiddle diddles. So I got to get that consistent because that's a show of how comfortable I am with paradiddles and not with paradiddle diddles. So let's do it. Yeah, so the feel of it is definitely different. So let's work on just that alone. So 1 E and a 2 E, 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E, 1 E and a 2 4 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a. All right, there we go. So let's try it again. So, and again, I'm also not using my push pull on this right now. That's another thing I want to try to incorporate, but push pull is something. So, like push pull single dynamic. It's great for kind of two full strokes at even tempo, right? Tap. I prefer, if I'm going to do it downstroke, upstroke, downstroke, I'm going to much prefer the molar. So hit, tap, and you want to tap, as you're tapping, bring it up, hit down, tap, tap, tap. I still have a lot of ways to go on that to make sure that my grace note, or my, not grace note, that's in the flam, but my ghost note is as low as possible. Anyway. Okay, so. Alright, lost track there. So 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a. Alright, so 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 4 E and a 1 E and a 2 E and a 3 E and a 4 E. Alright, so one thing I saw myself doing as I was counting, I was counting with accents. Oh wait, I haven't sent out. Okay, I'll send out my YouTube to her. Okay, so let me. What's happening here? Alright. So share. Really? Can't just copy link. Alright, send in Messenger. Let's do it. The chill is chill. Okay, so let's take a look at that. Alright, so Alright, who is watching? I think it's still just us, Rocket, because I don't know if people really are that interested in me practicing, but that's fine. Actually, no. Okay, so no, we have a couple more people on the Twitch. I don't know who's there, but thank you for coming. For anybody who's just to be able to do it. So today I'm just practicing to make sure that I can do all the pieces of this training, so that over the next week or so I'm going to try to get my hand speed up. So let's try this again. All right. Paradiddle, paradiddle. So paradiddle, 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 Alright, so that definitely helped. By just saying the words of what I'm playing, it definitely helped me lock in. So let's try that again. But I do want to bring it over to counting because that doesn't give me any reference to where am in the beat, but it has felt like it's kept me a little bit closer into doing it evenly. So let's try that again. Paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. All right, so that definitely seems to have kind of helped me lock into doing it somewhat evenly. So I'm going to give it a try saying that while the beep's going. So the beep might get a bit loud for anybody who's just joining. I'm going to try to turn on the metronome. I'm going to say paradiddle and paradiddle diddle while playing the sticking that's in the practice and see if I can lock in. Let's make it at 65 BPM. Every time I turn on this metronome, I forget how it sounds, and it's just like, ah. This is the free app that I downloaded within 5 minutes of the Microsoft Store. Oh, I am not a fan of that right now, but we'll figure it out. I just wanted to get on and rush to like get something out there, and I've been on for quite a while, so I'm gonna do it until I can get this down. Do the other two parts so that I know going into tomorrow that I can just do the 20 minutes and then maybe mess around and do some extra stuff. So this first one's going to be a bit longer because I got to learn how to do it. I'm sorry for the voice. All right, let's give it on with the metronome here. 2, 3, 4. Paradiddle. Okay, so I'm going to try to just verbalize it. Paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle. All right, so that's definitely worked. What I'm doing in my mind is I know in relation to those notes where certain words should lie. So I'm hearing for the pair to hit on a beat at certain points, and especially paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, See, that should be consistent, right? So paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle. Boom. So I'm trying to go through consistent, and basically, let's try it this way. Paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, diddle, pow. All right, so okay, I know that works. I'll keep in mind, guys, that this isn't something that somebody showed me to do. I'm just throwing things around, trying to figure out how, within my practice time, I can internalize these patterns and get to the point where I can practice and move it up with a metronome. Are these the best ways of doing it? I don't know. I am just figuring it out as I go. So take everything that I'm saying with a grain of salt. Check out the video of the guy who made this training. Look up professional drummers, your favorite drummer. You're going to be able to find sometimes they have actually, your favorite drummer might have a video course on how they play the way they do. And, that can be a lot cheaper than necessarily going to a teacher, which I highly recommend. I'm always going to say that because I got great value in doing that. All right, so let's try it again with the metronome at 65. 2, 3, 4. Oh. Alright, sorry. There we go. 2, 3, 4. Paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, 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 diddle. Okay. So, I can do it to the metronome at 65. So I'm gonna do it until I can get it 3 or 4 times in a row, internalize it, and get it ready for. I think 65 is going to be a good starting point for me. I don't know how fast I'm going to increase it. I'm going to try to do it by about 2 or 3 beats per minute a day until I hit that ceiling, and then slow it down to maybe 1 or 2, because it's just speeding it up. Yeah, speed it up. All right, scribes out. 2, 3, 4. Paradiddle, 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 paradiddle. 3, 4. Paradiddle. Hey, Marie. Okay. 2, 3, 4. Okay. Paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle. Woo! All right, so how I started off there. Hey, Mickey, thank you for joining me. So how I approach that, now that I found saying paradiddle, 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 diddle, paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, saying these words over the click and while I was playing helped me lock in a little bit to the time. Now, I think of these as training wheels for myself, right? So I'm counting out loud to kind of give me that tool to lock in and, start to get it correct at the time that I want, right? But people aren't going to hear me on the drums, but I don't want to have to if I'm, playing a groove and then I have to say paradiddle, diddle, paradiddle, diddle every time. So I want to, halfway through, if you've heard, which I'm pretty sure you did because this lovely mic right here, is I stopped saying it halfway through and, started thinking it in my mind. Now, now I'm going to try it without saying the paradiddle diddle part, and I'm going to replace it with the numbers of counting the measure. 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a. Now I'm going to see if this has an effect, if I'm going to still be able to do it at 65. If not, I'm going to go back to paradiddle diddle, or saying it that way, and then trying to switch over. But let's try to do it cold, counting it with 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a. Let's see how that goes. 2, 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 2e. Okay. It worked. I definitely got to work on my breathing properly with my singing teacher because I ran out of breath saying it. 1e and a 2e and 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a. Yeah, so I have to figure out where I'm going to breathe in when I'm saying all this stuff. So, alright, so I'm going to count in for. So each one is a measure. Right? So boom, coming back in again. So that's a whole measure. And then the second part of it is another measure. So I'm going to go through it, the first two measures, and then I'm going to stop counting and see if I can continue on with the metronome. 2, 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e and a 1e and a 2e and a 3e and a 4e. Okay, so I definitely lost it when I started to stop counting, but let's try it again. So 2, 3e and a 4e and a 1 So it's getting to the point where, again, I just stopped putting it there because I'm just going to put my sticks here and it's just going to be very awkward. So at the end there, what I was trying to do is I was trying to feel how the accents feel in relation to 4/4. So the first measure of 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, it's like hit, 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 hit. So the accents hit the beats. It's very easy. 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a, right? So that one I've done so many times. Like if you've danced to rock music or most Western music, you're gonna recognize that. So boom, da, boom, bam, right? So, but now with the accents, with the grouping of 6, and there's 2 accents, it's gonna have a different feel. So I'm trying to internalize how the boom 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 boom. All right, so we've got a total of 5 accents, and they're in different places than necessarily on the beat. So boom 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 boom. So if I can feel where those accents go, one, I'm going to feel when people are using it in songs that I listen to because I'm going to have that kind of grouping in me. So I'm like, oh wait, I know that those accents are falling there. And two, I'm going to be much more likely to be able to kind of feel the beat in a different time and then be able to do those accents. Maybe not this necessarily the same sticking, but the 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a dun, 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 dun. So the 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 3. So get those accents feeling throughout. So let's try it again. So okay, so I still don't quite have a necessarily boom, like a kind of a body movement that I guess what would help me, I guess, is to find a song that has that particular kind of feel, that accent through it, so I can listen to it, dance, and kind of get that feel in me. But because I don't have that song, what I can rely on is myself and try to feel it and find a way to move my body that makes sense to kind of accent or make the accent show. Because that's how I dance. If you've ever seen me out in dancing and you're like, I want to know how to dance like that person, uh, the advice that I can give you is pick a thing in the song. Pick that bass drum with it. I can't do the beatboxing, but or any other thing in the song, and just pick that piece, feel where it falls, and then once you have that spacing, be confident, hit that. So that's what I'm trying to do here as I play. So yeah, so boom boom. So if you want to think of hip hop, I'd almost think you know that move where you're gonna grab like this. Yeah, so dun, 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 boom, boom, boom. You know, dun, you have that you're coming down. 1E and 2E and 3E and 3E. Dun, 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 boom. Ba da 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 da. Boom, boom. All right, so there, starting to kind of feel. Now, I have no idea if I'm really following into the beats, but I'm trying to take away the ghost notes and just internalize the feeling of these notes against the beat. So 1 and a 2 and a 3 and a 4 and a ba boom, ba boom, boom. Ba na 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 da 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 So the second two fall in between the 2 and the 3. So 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, bum. So let's put on the click. Let's just get that going. 2, 3, 4. So it's a bit harder when you hear so 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and a da-dum, 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 boom. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Alright, so one of the things that, because it's 1E and a 2E and a 3 and a 3, right? So it'd be beep, boom, beep, beep, beep. So I want the spacing in between these two singles be the same. Spacing between these is the same as the spacing between this and the next beat. Deep, 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 deep. So deep. So boom, bum, bum, boom, 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 boom. So bum, bum, boom, boom. All right. So let's just go through and do it now. I'm just messing around. I'm trying to think about this accent pattern in many different ways and how I can figure it out and internalize it, whether through my body, through singing, through any different ways, and just really feeling it and knowing that it's inside me. I want this beat inside me. I gotta stop doing this because if I get popular and I continue to do things like that, I'm gonna get memed so bad. People are gonna have audio clips of me saying things way out of context. That's half the fun. Alright, so let's actually put it to the click. Let's give it a try to see if that helped. I have no idea if what I did was a waste of time or not, but hey, let's give something a try. 2, 3, 4. Lost it there a little bit. Lost it. Alright, so that's just fine. 2, 4. Okay, so it's starting to get to the point where I can start to work on other aspects of it. What I mean there is, as I'm learning this piece, as I'm exercise. I want to get to the point where it gets so second nature, kind of like the first part of it. Like, so if I take the first half, that one I've done enough to where I can kind of get it going fast, and then as I'm going, I'm like, oh no, this is. I can start to slightly adjust, right? I can start to think about, does it sound good? No, okay, and fix things, right? So I'm almost there. I'm gonna go through it one more time, and I think I have this to the point where I would call it practicable, right? Meaning I can go into the routine, do it for the 7 minutes, right? The first bit of it is going to be me getting into the groove of things, but then it's going to be me doing it, and then I'm going to be slowly making it better and better and better. And then I need to find my rate of, you know, increasing the speed at the right amount. Meaning I'm still adjusting and getting my technique better, my dynamics better, while still getting faster. So, what I mean by that is if I say, I'm like, all right, I'm 65 today, I'm doing it well, I'm doing it well enough, but I'm like, tomorrow I'm going to be 80. And I jump in and I start doing 80, but suddenly my dynamics are horrible, I'm not able to, and I'm just struggling. All right, I jumped up too fast. I need to kind of hold my horses a little bit. I need to pull it back, and I need to go a little bit slower, right? And the thing is, unless you're paying somebody, or we have a fellow musician in the chat as I'm doing a stream. They're like, "Hey, you're going too fast." I'm like, "Oh yeah, you're right," and reel me in. Or I literally have my drum teacher beside me at every moment. Only myself, and I am going to be able to one that tells me to slow down, right? So I need to be able to slow down when I need to, because if I don't, well, frankly, I'm not going to get better. So I am the gatekeeper, I guess, of how fast I'm going to go, right? And I want to make sure that I'm going at just the right amount of push, that I'm getting faster, but still maintaining quality. So I'm going to go through this one more time. Then we're going to move on to the, sorry, I got my book here, the Tabata and the hand clapping. Yes, I'm going to do hand clapping today for, at least 30 seconds, just to kind of get the feel for it. All right, so we're going to do it at 65 again, which I think is a good BPM for me. And we'll do that. 2, 3, 4. All right, gotta open my eyes. 3, 4, 2, 3, 4. Wow, I was really off there. I just kind of lost my place completely. Now, in practice, that's okay. But with a band, oh boy, howdy, they would not be happy with me right now, because I flipped the beat. It feels like I flipped the beat. Like the one happened in the middle of where I was expecting it to be. And as a drummer, it's one of the worst things I can do. So I have to be very careful about that. If I lose track of the one, obviously get back onto the one as fast as possible. But I really do not want to lose track of that and flip it and suddenly be playing and just lose track. Always be focused. All right, try this one more time, then I'll move on. 2, 3, 4. Okay. I forgot the second accent. But I'm going to move on. And, alright. So I did this. I didn't find an app. Okay, I gotta stop doing that. It's just going to be memes of me here. So I'm going to I'm practicing. All right. So, um, good news to anybody who's watching, which I think it's just you, Rocket, or it could be Mickey. I don't know who's the one. Is that my stream has not crashed. I've not got a blue screen of death so far, so that's really good news. Um, so, yeah, thank you, Rocket. So, um, a single camera with a chat, no, no crash. So, um, unless it's intermittent, yeah, no blue screen, and I've been going for quite a while, so I think it's safe to say that we're pretty good. So for anybody watching who's wondering what I'm talking about, I've been trying to get these streams set up for a while. I did some streams there as well as one with my friend Mickey, where we put the camera in camera and got all that worked out. And 3 different times it all just everything crashed. So it's very nice to be able to have a laptop. You can see here, this guy here. It just gives me a lot more flexibility to be able to set up in different places in my apartment to stream. So here I'm on my couch and I've got a little bit of a setup here that I'm not going to move too much so that I can easily jump on and stream. Probably going to put markers on the floor just so that I know where to put the tripods and the stands again. All right, so now we're going to do the Tabata. Right, so I'm learning. I'm not putting it there. Thank God. Okay, so I downloaded an app which is the interval trainer, and so what this little app here does, and it's got the volume up, is that it's going to basically for 20 seconds it's going to beep, then for 10 seconds it's going to beep again, and then I'm going to go. So I'm going to go. I don't know. I'll feel how I do it. I'm probably going to do like maybe 3 or 4 sets of as fast as I can, doubles or singles, and then rest. And I'm just going to try to make sure that I feel it again. You feel it in the muscle. So if you've ever done squats or push-ups or sit-ups and you feel muscle pain, you, it should feel like that. It should feel like muscle pain. Now, if you can see a trainer, learn your body. Listen to your body, right? It's much better to take a break and let your body heal than push it. Adam Neely does a great question and answer about stress based injuries, especially around the wrist. Take the time to heal and just listen to your body. Okay, so I'm going to do this, and I don't even know how fast my fastest is going to be. It's probably going to be pretty slow. 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, now it's a rest. I didn't even hear that. Is my sound even up? Okay, there we go. 2, 1. All right, so I'm gonna stop it there. Okay, so I did singles, I did doubles. Yeah, it's about what I expected. Speed has always been something that I've struggled with. I've never been a blazing fast drummer. Um, it's just a matter of time, and this is me in this quarantine and self isolation to say, you know what, I haven't worked on my hand speed, and that's what I'm gonna do. So I found this guidance, this video, and I'm going to, yeah, this is going to be also for me because I'm going to be able to look back at this and see my practice. If even if you stream and you record and you don't show anybody, but you just go back and you watch it. I'm happen to do it so that I can have people in the stream and watch. I know that my drum behind the drums and playing music and playing along is going to be a lot more entertaining for people, but this part is really for me. This is I'm not sitting very well. My posture is kind of bad, and what actually I might do is move this a bit forward and actually grab my drum stool, my throne, as us drummers like to call it, and do it that way, because sitting in this cushy couch and everything like that is definitely not that good for my back. So I might adjust and sit, because right now everything's tied into my laptop here, so I can literally push everything forward and set it up. So I'm gonna do that. And so the last piece, is this for 2 minutes. So here, I'm just gonna bring it out here a little bit so it's not clapping so loud. So here I'm actually gonna turn down the volume a little bit. Still clapping pretty high. So relax the shoulders, right? So I want to isolate this as much as possible. So I want to, I don't want to be scrunched up. I don't want to be tense anywhere else in the body. I just want to isolate, elbows, wrists together, boom, 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 boom. Woo. All right. Note to self: I need to stretch more. So okay. Definitely need to stretch a lot more. Do a bit more yoga. Listen to my body and straighten that out. But so yeah, let's just recap of what my comfort is. Sexy. Yes, it is, Rocket. Um, Always. And the way that I like to think about this is we used to do yoga, and at the end we would do the meditation, and the teacher would take us through. We would lay on our back and in the dark, and the teacher would guide us through, and he would start at the top of the head and just relax your eyebrows, relax your cheeks, unclench your jaw, and just as you go through from the top of your head down through your body, you just release the tension. And I even sent this out, this meme, and sometimes I like to kind of send it out to people. You've ever been scrolling on your Facebook and you just see a post that somebody posts, like, and it's just like checklist, unclench your jaw, relax your shoulders, let a deep breath out. Just so for whatever reason, we get out of tune with our own bodies. We don't feel the discomfort, and I used to have this so bad too. I used to be just like, especially I would get so focused into something. I dubbed them for myself nerd shoulders, because when I get set into something nerdy, it's like, it's like just completely shrugged up and just like completely just in the moment, and for whatever reason, and I just don't feel them. So I'm like, nope, bring it back down, relax, engage the core, and just try to have good posture, or just feel when you're keeping yourself uncomfortable. So, all right, to recap, I think I've talked enough on this. 7 minutes doing the push pull. So all right, so let's state the goals of this. This is day 0. I'm going to rename this. This is all going to be day 0. Is to increase my hand speed, but also to, and again, I'm using push pull because that is what this particular YouTuber called it. I don't know if he got it off somebody else or he's originator. There was another drummer that had a system where he would basically have that same kind of throw and snap. So that's what I'm going to try to do even in my singles. So not just on doubles, because it's like you throw and it's very easy because you're just doing singles, right? And your hand throwing motion doesn't change, right? You're still throwing the stick down at the same amount of times, same speed. So that's one of the things I do with the push-pull is boom, 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 boom. Now, in this particular one is you're not, making twice as fast. You're just doing 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and, right? So you're keeping them the same amount of space in this particular exercise. And boom, boom, boom. But it's great for the doubles. But instead of doing bum, 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 to get bum, 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 bum. So the singles also be able to do that, because as I said earlier on in the stream, if I can really get those singles even and moving, it's going to be able to make my singles that much faster. Because if I do double and then I interlace them, it's going to be singles, but it's going to be so much faster. So, and then take that, do the same thing. And then you just basically do the same thing, but you just offset. So another thing you can do, if you can do them in unison, and then it's just a matter of so that's part that next part where you just, instead of doing it at the same time, you just alternate it, and then you're doing singles, or bum 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 bum. So it's a lot slower, right? Do 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 do. It's kind of more fluid as it's just singles, but 1 2 3 4 1 E and a 2 E and a 1 boom 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 ba na 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 na. So the space between it, to anybody watching, like if you can get it that you can switch between the sticking of 1E and a 2E and a 1E and a 2E and that sticking to sound the same, it's like boom boom bum boom or boom boom bum boom bum boom. Right? The sound and the feel of that to be the same, you're gonna have a lot more control over how you can do your doubles, you do your singles, and moving it around. And to me, that's kind of one of my goals, is to be able to choose whenever I want to do that sticking, whether it be doubles or singles, using the push-pull. Now again, this is 2 even strokes. Down and up, it's exactly the same sound. Another reason here, right here, I don't know if you guys can see, yeah, on this side you can see it a little bit, the stick is hitting the couch, so, right? So this is not good. I don't want this here to be blocking it again. Sorry, alright, so who is in the chat right now? I will say hello. Don't you know that I love that you're here? Alright, a little bit of singing for you. Alright, so I think it's just, for the most part, I think it's just been you, Rocket, who has been sticking it out with me. Yeah, how did you like it? The angle, the sound, how is everything? Or I can just ask you offline. Anyway, I'm going to drop off. Thank you so much, Rocket. Thank you for sticking with me and doing the practice. Once I get into it, the practice is going to be a lot more, 7 minutes of practice, 7 minutes of practice, 4 minutes of the single, double as fast as possible, and then 2 minutes of the hand. So that's 20 minutes. It's going to probably be a little bit more straightforward, 20 minutes compact, and then maybe a bit of talking and going over some other stuff. So this first one was definitely a lot longer because I had to sit there and figure it out. But I do feel that I'm now at the point where I can practice it and start speeding it up. All right.